Can you believe that March Madness has given us some of the most iconic moments in basketball history? Whether that's been a Cinderella story with a big upset or that underdog that goes for a run late in the tournament, it's always been something spectacular to watch. But nothing has ever been better than sitting around during March Madness and watching some of the most iconic players during tournament time step up. Let's take a trip down memory lane. First, let's talk about Steph Curry from the 2008 Davidson team. Curry burst onto the national scene with his incredible shooting and leadership during the tournament time. He led Davidson to the Elite Eight. His tournament run made him a household name and set the stage for him to become the legend that he is in the NBA today. Though Curry came from a big time basketball family, his superstardom came during tournament time. Of course, you can't talk March Madness without talking about UConn's dominance, specifically the 2011 season, when Kemba Walker put on one of the most dominant solo performances in March Madness history, leading UConn to the national championship. His clutch performances and iconic crossover moves earned him a huge fan following during the March Madness tournament. He literally put UConn on his back during this time. If you were around in the early 2000s, there's no doubt you remember Jameer Nelson and the St. Joseph's Hawks. Nelson led the team with his partner Delonte West as a number one seed to the March Madness tournament. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, being noted as the little man from the little school, shocking everyone, and they truly did. Of course, one of the most iconic performances during March Madness came from Dougie McBuckets, aka Doug McDermott, in the 2014 season when he was one of the leading scorers in college basketball, carrying Creighton into a deep run during the tournament time. McBuckets' iconic three-pointers is what really carried Creighton over the top during this time period and made them a household name. If you were around during 2003, there's no doubt you remember TJ Ford and his tournament run for Texas. He would lead Texas to the Final Four, and he was a dynamic playmaker, and his leadership captured the hearts of fans everywhere. He was one of the most beloved players in Texas basketball history, and truly still is an icon to this day. Of course, you can't talk Cinderella and March Madness without talking about CJ McCollum from Lehigh in 2012. McCollum led Lehigh to one of the biggest upsets in tournament history, knocking off Duke in the first round. His brilliance throughout the tournament made him a fan favorite, and everyone fell in love with this iconic player, making his draft stock skyrocket. Of course, in more modern day, in 2019, Jameer from Murray State put his name on the map with an electrifying performance during the tournament. He made himself an instant sensation, making highlight reel dunks and jaw-dropping assists and won fans over. Murray State's run was short-lived during the tournament, but Ja truly made a name for himself towards the end of the season. Of course, you can't talk March Madness without Jameer Fredette. Jameer Fredette became a national sensation during the 2011 tournament season for BYU. He dazzled with his three-point shot, including a 52-point game during the tournament, and made him one of the most beloved players in March Madness history. He became a BYU icon, and everyone around the country started doing the Jameer Fredette shot. Which one of these iconic March Madness heroes was your favorite, or do you have other favorites? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear from all of you. Thank you so much for watching Believable Truths.